What's up, all my Ewoks, Chappelle'S, droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as that Star Wars girl. And today I'm going to be talking about how Netflix's CEO says he screwed up when defending Dave Chappelle's special. So, for those of you guys that aren't up on the news with this whole entire situation, let me break down to you the situation. So, obviously, this is Dave Chappelle. Now, Dave Chappelle has done specials on Netflix. Now, this gentleman right here, his name is Ted Sarandos. I'm not exactly how to say his last name, so I'm just going to call him Ted. So this is Ted. Ted is the CEO of Netflix. And so, obviously, since Dave Chappelle is doing specials on Netflix, it's because Netflix wants him to be there, and they worked out some kind of deal with him to come on to have the special on Netflix's platform, right? So that way they can make money, because last time I checked, Netflix is a for-profit business, not a non-profit. And so what do they need to make money, right? They need to make content. So they know pretty much everyone loves Dave Chappelle except for the same 5 people. And so Dave Chappelle did a couple specials that were pretty controversial to a certain member of the alphabet community. Now, I have watched all of his specials, and some of the jokes went over my head. This last one that he did, though, was called The Closer. And he starts off, the special by saying that he's like, it's called The Closer because after what I'm about to say, they're not going to have me back for a long, long time. So he knew that it was going to piss a lot of people off, but he said what he had to say. And you can like his jokes, you can, not like his jokes, but from everything that I've seen of Dave Chappelle, The Closer, I wouldn't really say it was, just comedy. It was him trying to convey his very, deep anger for what happened to his friend Daphne. And so if you guys have seen his specials, then this is just going to be a little recap for you. If you guys haven't, I'm just going to give you a, very, very short version of it. So, a lot of people say that he's transphobic, and, he's obviously not. Just because, you make jokes about something doesn't mean that you're, an ist or phobe of that thing. For example, my mother is blonde. Me and my sisters tease her and, she's been hearing blonde jokes her entire life. That doesn't mean me and my sisters, hate blondes. Heck, one of my sisters was blonde. And I mean, my brother's blonde. A lot of my family is blonde, but we still say blonde jokes. That doesn't make, us, I guess an ist or a phobe against blonde hair. But, some people are just more sensitive than others, it appears, and I mean, it's one of those things that says you don't have to watch this. It's not like it's Clockwork Orange. And, Dave Chappelle says jokes, and, usually comedians, nothing is off the table, except for in current, day media. It's like you can't talk about anything without offending a certain, group of people, and then they try to cancel you on Twitter and ruin your lives. So Dave Chappelle, in one of his previous acts, talked about his friend Daphne, who is a trans woman. And, after the last couple of specials, people, the same group that hates him decided to, attack him on Twitter and, go after Daphne. And Dave Chappelle says in The Closer how Daphne fought it, was fighting a one-woman battle against these people. And he even says in the special how it's like, you're part of their group, but the second you say something against their group, they turn on you. And that's exactly what happened with Daphne. And again, this was Dave Chappelle's friend, and he almost, I was moved because I felt for this man. His friend, Daphne, committed suicide after, these people just, attacking her because, she's supposed to be on their side, but she's stepping out of bounds, out of the narrative, and it just got too much. And so Dave Chappelle was talking about how he started, you know, a trust fund for Daphne's daughter, and that he hopes that he's, you know, alive when she turns 21 so he can give it to her. It was a very moving comedy special, and you could tell that, you know, Dave Chappelle was angry and hurt by what had happened, but everything that he predicted was going to happen with the reactions to, you know, this comedy special, The Closer, is exactly what happened. And so then, you know, Ted, the Netflix CEO, was, you know, defending Dave Chappelle, saying like, look, this is our most viewed special on Netflix. People like it. I understand that, you know, you guys, certain people are upset by this, but, you know, we got to give the audience what they want. And he put out a memo, and of course that got used against him as, oh my God, he's, you know, defending transphobia, da 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 da. And he, you know, exactly what I said in the beginning of the video from, you know, this news that broke last night. He did an interview in which he, you know, apologized. He bent the knee, and he, you know, says he screwed up when defending Dave Chappelle, the Dave Chappelle special. I should have recognized the fact that a group of our employees was really hurting, Ted says. So let's go down here and read, you know, the rest of this interview. What I should have led with in those emails was humanity. Well, here's the thing. He's apologizing, but look at it this way. Did any of those people respond with humanity? No, they didn't. They cyberbullied Daphne until she committed suicide. Think about that. These are the people that you want to show humanity to. Think long and hard about that. I should have recognized the fact that a group of our employees was really hurting. Well, I'm sure Daphne's family are hurting too. I'm sure Dave Chappelle, who talked about his friend and how hurt he was by what these people, you know, bullied his friend to the point of committing suicide, he was hurt too, but his feelings don't matter. To be clear, storytelling has an impact in the real world, sometimes quite negative, he says. Yes, just like what happened to Daphne. Like what those people did to Daphne just because she was friends with Dave Chappelle and she didn't fall in line into their narrative. Let's see. Netflix transgender employee group is encouraging all employees to take Wednesday off as a form of protest against Netflix for its decision to continue to work with Mr. Dave Chappelle and its reaction to their concerns. Ted, who is also Netflix chief content officer, said he isn't second-guessing the decision to carry The Closer, nor are there plans to remove it from the streaming giant's platform. We have articulated to our employees that there are going to be things you don't like, Ted said. There are going to be things that you might feel are harmful, but we are trying to entertain a world with varying taste and varying sensibilities and various beliefs, and I think this special was consistent with that. Stand-up comedy is designed to stir up emotions, Ted said, and while Netflix prides itself on having inclusive staff and programming featuring a range of diverse voices, sometimes inclusion and artistic expression bump into each other, he said. The Closer is currently among the top 10 most popular Netflix shows in the U.S., and it was high as number 3 earlier this week. Dave Chappelle has made several specials for Netflix, and all have been among the most popular offerings. Criticism of The Closer put Netflix on the defense just as it was riding high from the success of Squid Game, a South Korean dystopian drama that made its debut last month and quickly became a global phenomenon. Let's see. In the interview, Ted said Netflix has spent an enormous amount of money creating content for and by the LGBTQ+ community and would continue to do so. I'm firmly committed to continue to support artistic freedom for the creators who work with Netflix and increase representation behind the screen and on camera, he said. Nothing these goals may at times be in conflict with each other. We have to figure out how to navigate those challenges, Ted said. Now, here's the thing. Based on what he said, this was a very clever, everything that he said was very cleverly put, right? He's very good at articulating his point. Now, what I don't think he understands, though, is that this is going to be taken as he bent the knee, whereas he was literally just saying, yeah, I probably should have worded things better. this is a fancy schmancy article, so they have to kind of embellish a little bit. So he basically just said, yeah, I probably should have rephrased that, right? He's like, I probably didn't come off the right way. But all of these people, well, we'll see, because it is Wednesday currently right now as I'm filming this. We'll see if they actually walk out and leave. But basically, this is going to be taken as, oh, look, Netflix is giving us what we want, which means they're inclined to do it again. So if they have Dave Chappelle back on, which I have a feeling they might, you know, once they wait for everything to cool down, these people are just going to double down. And by him saying this, it shows that weakness. And so they're just going to, just like hyenas, they're going to stalk, they're going to wait, and then they're going to attack. And we'll see what happens in the future. But guys, let me know what you guys all think about this entire situation in the comment section below. If you like this video, go ahead and smash the like button. If you didn't, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching this far through, and until next time, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. Once again, everyone, thank you so much for watching my channel and my content. And if you guys would like to help support the channel further, I actually have a very special project up on IndieGoGo live right now. We just broke $20,000. So thank you so much, everyone, for your amazing support. If you guys missed it earlier this month on my channel, I decided to do a whole transformation into Rogue from X-Men. And you know, I was on a few live streams and people were like, oh my gosh, Anna, you should do a cosplay calendar. And, you know, the customer is always right. You got to give the customer what what you guys want. And so I did. So I created this IndieGoGo. Tiers start at $30 for calendars. So if you guys want that calendar for 2022 of me as different cosplay, or, you know, cosplaying as different characters, go check it out. The link is the first link in the description of this video. And guys, thank you so much for making this possible and making this happen. You guys are absolutely incredible. And I couldn't do any of this without you. So thank you guys so much.